Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and on this video tonight I am going to be giving you an update on some more transfer news, keeping you up to date of what players are linked with Manchester United. So I am going to be giving you some additional information on Thomas Partey, because there's a lot of positivity coming out regarding Thomas Partey. Also going to be giving you some latest news on Ben Yedder from Monaco, because I think it says up to around 4 or 5 clubs have expressed their interest in him. And I think a bit later on in the video, I'm going to give you the latest news on Kai Havertz, because reportedly we are seeing him as an alternative to Jadon Sancho. So what I mean in that aspect is that, if we are to miss out on Jadon Sancho, we'll look to get Kai Havertz on the board. And also too as well, I'm going to give you the latest news regarding Ferdinand and that. But yeah, so let's start with the news on Thomas Partey. So reportedly, Thomas Partey wants to leave Atletico Madrid in the summer, and he's got no intentions of extending his contract. And also too, he has revealed his preference is to join Manchester United. Now this has been confirmed from Sadiq Adams, who's a journalist who specifies on African transfers. So this is stemming from him, and he's basically said that Thomas Partey wants to make a move to Manchester United. Now we do know how much Thomas Partey will cost us. To be fair, he's a cheap solution. He'll only cost us around £43 million, because Thomas Partey has got around the £43 million release clause in his contract with Atletico Madrid. And he's got a contract with Atletico Madrid until 2023. So he's got like 3 years remaining on his contract. Now, Atletico Madrid have been in negotiations over, getting Thomas Partey a new contract. But reportedly, it's been confirmed today that he's unhappy with Atletico Madrid's contract offer. Now, it did say if Thomas Partey was to sign a new contract with Atletico Madrid, his release clause would rise up to around £90 million. And I think Atletico Madrid were determined to double his wages from £65,000 a week to £130,000 a week and that. But, he's not happy with their contract offer, so he does want to leave Atletico Madrid. He is in his mid-20s, is Thomas Partey. He's like, is he 25 or 26 years of age? He has spent the vast majority of his career with Atletico Madrid, and I think he's made over 150 appearances for them in all competitions. And he's predominantly a defensive midfielder, and Manchester United are in search for a holding midfielder and that. And obviously, Atletico Madrid, won't want to lose Thomas Partey, because I'll reiterate what I've mentioned on my recent videos before. They have lost quite a few of their imperative players in recent years. Don't forget they lost Griezmann last summer to Barcelona, after Griezmann endured around 5 years with Atletico Madrid, was it? Also, too, they lost Diego Godin. I think he endured a good 9 or was it 10 years with Atletico Madrid. They lost Rodri last year. So they have lost quite a few of their imperative players. They've recruited a few players in recent years, but, they just wouldn't want to lose Thomas Partey. Now, obviously, what's been coming out today, though, is actually, totally a contrast to what was coming out not too long ago. Because it actually, said that Arsenal, were the likely team to get Thomas Partey on the board and that. And Arsenal, have actually, been in for Thomas Partey. And obviously, it's very, very unlikely that Arsenal are going to get qualification for the Champions League, because Arsenal are sitting 9th in the Premier League and they're like 8 points behind Chelsea. So I don't see them getting qualification for the Champions League. And it said Arsenal will only sign Partey on one condition, and that's if they get qualification for the Champions League. Now, reports were coming out not too long ago saying that Arsenal have been in negotiations with Atletico Madrid over signing Thomas Partey. His father, actually revealed this, because he's actually, Thomas Partey's father has advised his son to leave Atletico Madrid, basically in that. But his actual agent, Thomas Partey's agent, recently as well, denied talks with Arsenal. So if recent reports are to be believed, we are emerged now as the front runners to sign Thomas Partey. But I think, he'd probably, do very, very well at Manchester United, if I am going to be quite honest with you. But, that midfield is one of the priority areas where we do need to strengthen up. So, there you go. But obviously, Arsenal need a midfielder, because, the likes of Lucas Torreira, Granit Xhaka, Guendouzi, they haven't lived up to expectations and that. So, yeah. So, I definitely, take Thomas Partey at Manchester United. To be fair, I don't really know much about the player, but I've read some of his stats and, doesn't seem to be a bad player, does Thomas Partey. But he's definitely made the admission saying that he does want to leave Atletico Madrid. And this is stemming from Sadiq Adams, like I said. I read this, I read a few narratives regarding Partey. I read it in Team Talk. I've also read it in a few other media outlets as well. So that's the breaking news regarding him, Thomas Partey. But yeah, 40 odd million pounds, very, very cheap, like I said. Now, let's delve into the news on Wissam Ben Yedder. So, the news is on Wissam Ben Yedder is that Manchester United, Liverpool, Madrid and Arsenal have all expressed their interest in him. Now, Wissam Ben Yedder is the age of 29. He is a striker, and don't forget, my club Manchester United are in search for a striker, because obviously, Lukaku left us last summer, after, Lukaku did endure 2 years at Manchester United and scored 42 goals in 96 games in all competitions. We did get around £72 million for him, though, but we failed to get an adequate replacement for Lukaku last summer. So, Wissam Ben Yedder. Now, obviously, as you all know, he currently plays for Monaco. Of course, this has been his first season with Monaco as Wissam Ben Yedder's. Monaco, did sign Wissam Ben Yedder from Sevilla, was it last summer? They paid around £35 million because that was his actual release clause in his contract with Sevilla. So yeah, Monaco paid £35 million, and he has got a contract with Monaco until 2024. So he has got a long-term contract. Now, Wissam Ben Yedder, endured 3 years at Sevilla. This is obviously, before he joined Monaco, and I think he scored like 70 goals in 138 games. Of course, before he was at Sevilla, he was at Toulouse. And I think he scored like 71 goals in 174 games for Toulouse, did Wissam Ben Yedder and that. But yeah, he's nearly 30 years of age now. I think he's valued at around £40 million is Wissam Ben Yedder. So again, he is a cheap solution. There has been a lot of strikers on our agenda though, like I mentioned. And, I did a video a while back, saying which striker, what striker should Manchester United sign when the transfer market does reopen. Obviously, like I said, Madrid are in for him, because obviously Karim Benzema's coming to an end of his career and they're not happy with Luka Jovic. So obviously, they want to get an adequate replacement for them. Obviously, with Arsenal, they're looking for an adequate replacement for Aubameyang, because obviously, Aubameyang is going to be leaving Arsenal and that. So there you go. So that's the latest news regarding Wissam Ben Yedder. And of course, he hasn't played in the Premier League as yet. But to be quite honest with you, I'm going to make an admission. I don't really know much about the player. So that's the latest news regarding him. Now, I'm going to give you the news on Rio Ferdinand. Then I am going to delve into the news on Kai Havertz. And then after that, probably will delve into more topics. So, Rio Ferdinand, I've read it in the mainstream media today. He has given Ole Gunnar Solskjaer 5 new transfer targets. He's given Ole Gunnar Solskjaer 5 new transfer targets and that. Because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has already revealed his transfer plans anyway for when, the summer transfer market does open. Solskjaer's already said, he wants to make around 4 signings because he believes we need around 4 signings to become title contenders next season and that. So, yeah, Ferdinand, this is what he's basically said, and, he's given Solskjaer 5 new targets, and, these 5 players are, one of them is Thomas Partey, another one is Wilfred Ndidi, Soljaker, he's another one. I think also Ben Godfrey, however you pronounce his name, was mentioned as well, and also too Kalidou Koulibaly was mentioned. And Rio Ferdinand has given his verdict on these players, that he has spoken about and that. So there you go. Like, he believes Thomas Partey would be a good player for Manchester United. He thinks like Soljaker, would do well if he came in, stuff like that. Obviously, I've spoken with you about Wilfred Ndidi this morning, didn't I? And I think a lot of Manchester United fans would take Wilfred Ndidi at the football club. Because I would be excited about the prospect of him, playing alongside Fernandes or Paul Pogba in our midfield. Also to Arsenal have expressed their interest in him. But I'm very, very sceptical that Manchester United are going to sign Wilfred Ndidi. Because, don't forget Wilfred Ndidi is give his overarching view on this speculation. And he's basically disregarded it, saying that he's happy with Leicester and he wants to see out his contract with Leicester and he sees his foreseeable future with Leicester. Wilfred Ndidi has got a contract with Leicester until 2024. And, there's no main explanation, why Wilfred Ndidi would want to leave Leicester at this point. There's no main explanation because Leicester have enjoyed a very, very good season. They are sitting third in the Premier League. This is, by the way, Wilfred Ndidi's third season with Leicester. I think he's made around 130 appearances for them in all competitions. I think he has. Leicester did pay around £15 million for him from Genk back in 2017. I think he is valued at around £50 million. And, I'd definitely take him at Manchester United if the opportunity was there, though, because he's well proven in the Premier League. He's regarded as one of the best defensive midfielders in the Premier League. Hold up play good, tackles very, very well, good at passing the ball. I would definitely take him at Manchester United, Wilfred Ndidi. But, Leicester, wouldn't want to lose him. They've lost, like I said to you before, they've lost quite a few of their imperative players in recent years. Put into the equation, lost Harry Maguire to us last summer. They did get a lot of money for Harry Maguire, though. They got £80 million. Harry Maguire is the most expensive centre-half in the world and the second most expensive signing at the football club. They lost Raheem Mahrez to City in the summer of 2018. They lost N'Golo Kante and Danny Drinkwater to Chelsea. So they won't want to lose any more of their imperative players. Same sort of thing with James Maddison. Obviously, he's been subjected to transfer speculation, but again, James Maddison insists he's very, very happy at Leicester and sees his foreseeable future with them. But yeah, Sol Niguez, I think I updated you about Sol Niguez, was it last week? No, was it last week or earlier on this week? I give you the news regarding Sol Niguez. We've actually not expressed an interest in him, but I'm very, very sceptical that Manchester United will sign Sol Niguez because Atletico Madrid do remain ruthless over their valuation. They've basically said, they want £130 odd million for him if they are willing to do business with a player because he's got around a £132 million release clause in his contract to Sol Niguez. He's under contract with Atletico Madrid until 2026. So he's got 6 years now remaining on his contract, but back in 2017, Sol Niguez had signed a 9-year contract with Atletico Madrid. But yeah, he did actually say, this was obviously before all the football got suspended. He said we had secretly scouted Sol Niguez in Atletico Madrid's 3-2 win against Liverpool in the last 16 of the Champions League. So we secretly scouted him. It did say we're willing to pay around £70 million for Sol Niguez. So that's around half, is it, than what Atletico Madrid are demanding. It did say we was willing to give him a big increase in his wages. We was willing to offer him nearly in the £200,000 range a week. But there you go. And Sol Niguez is what, like 25 or 26 years of age. He's obviously spent the vast majority of his career with Atletico Madrid. I think he's now into his 12th season with Atletico Madrid, is Sol Niguez. And he's made nearly 300 appearances in all competitions as Sol Niguez. But he can play as a defensive mid and also a central midfielder. When he was younger, he was predominantly a centre-half with Sol Niguez. And also to Manchester City, have expressed their interest. It said recently that we'd been given a boost in our pursuit of Niguez because it said, Barcelona have dropped out. They decided not to take that first option to sign him because it said last October, Barcelona, had agreed to get Sol Niguez for around £15 million or so. So yeah, I can't see Sol Niguez coming to Manchester United. And I give you the news, didn't I, regarding Kalidou Koulibaly not too long ago either. We're no longer in now for Kalidou Koulibaly. Manchester United are not in for him, even though Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did regard Kalidou Koulibaly is one of the best centre-backs in the world. So I think I'm going to fully disregard it now. We're not going to get Kalidou Koulibaly. There's been a few centre-halves on our agenda, but I'm very, very sceptical, that Manchester United are going to sign a centre-half, when the summer transfer market does reopen. Because there's more priorities, other priority areas where Manchester United do need to strengthen up. So I reiterate what I said earlier on, Ferdinand has give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer 5 new transfer targets. So now let's delve into news on Kai Havertz. I've spoken to you about Kai Havertz today, and I on my previous video, because obviously it says that Chelsea have expressed an interest in Kai Havertz because they are no longer interested now in Philippe Coutinho. But we are, reportedly seeing Kai Havertz as an alternative to Jadon Sancho. We've inquired about Kai Havertz's availability before. I think it did say quite a few weeks ago, and this was stemming from Sky in Germany. And they'd actually said that Kai Havertz wants to remain in Germany, but he wants to go to Bayern Munich and that. This is what it said. And obviously, the Bayer Leverkusen sporting director came out not too long ago, and he'd made an admission saying that Kai Havertz could leave Leverkusen in the summer transfer window. He would probably cost the same amount, or it probably cost a similar amount to Jadon Sancho would Kai Havertz, because Leverkusen have said they would want in the £90 million range. Maybe they could demand even £100 million for Kai Havertz. Now, like I said to Kai Havertz has spent the entirety of his career so far with Leverkusen. He's been at Leverkusen for several years. I think, didn't he join them in 2010, if I'm right? I think he enjoyed a good 6 years in their youth academy, and he's been in their senior squad, I think, since 2016. But since then, Kai Havertz has become an integral part of Bayer Leverkusen's team. He's made over 100 appearances in the Bundesliga. He became the youngest player to reach milestones of 50 and 100 appearances in the German top flight, and also became the youngest debutant in the Bundesliga. Can play as an attacking midfielder and can also play as a winger, can Kai Havertz. Don't forget, Liverpool were in for him before. But yeah, so we're seeing him basically as an alternative to Jadon Sancho. But obviously, I give you the update, didn't I, regarding Ed Woodward, what he'd said recently. I think, it was last week, actually, because Ed Woodward had told a fans forum that he said, our business, will not be as usual in the summer transfer market. So what it means in that aspect is that, we won't spend hundreds of millions of pounds, and Ed Woodward has basically ruled out big transfers to Manchester United. Like I updated you before as well, we are planning on selling around 5 players, so it can increase our transfer budget, and also too so we can fund a move for Jadon Sancho, because we do know how much Jadon Sancho is going to cost us. He's going to cost us at least £100 million, maybe even £120 million. But obviously, either figure would make him a record signing in the Premier League, and it'd make him our most expensive signing and the most expensive British player in history. I'm still sceptical that we'll get Jadon Sancho. I think he'll end up staying with Borussia Dortmund. I don't know about him staying there for the foreseeable future, but I think he could be there next season, because he did say Borussia Dortmund believe that they can convince Jadon Sancho to stay by offering him a 1-year contract worth around £9 million. So that would make him the second highest paid player behind Marco Reus. It also confirmed yesterday that the Borussia Dortmund sporting director had actually said that Borussia Dortmund do remain relaxed about Jadon Sancho's future. He was talking about the length of his contract. He's still got a contract with Dortmund until 2022 and that. But Sancho did say that if he was to leave Dortmund, his preference would be a move to Manchester United. So he's already made this admission. And if Jadon Sancho is sold, then like I said to you, Manchester City will benefit from it, because Manchester City, will get around 15% of the transfer fee, due to the couple of clauses in his transfer deal from Manchester City to Borussia Dortmund back in 2017 and that. But yeah, he's still one of our priority targets, is Jadon Sancho. But, Solskjaer, will still want to, for us to spend big, when the transfer market does reopen. Now, I do like what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came out and said quite a few weeks ago, because he did say we will exploit the transfer market when it does reopen. So what he meant in that aspect is that, he's very, very convinced that, we can get the right calibre players to Manchester United. But like I've said to due to this coronavirus pandemic, obviously, a lot of teams are under financial pressure and stuff like that. And a lot of clubs, summer transfer budgets will be reduced and stuff like that. But like I said to we have really, really improved in the transfer market under Solskjaer. That's one admission I've got to make. What I mean is, I think we have been a bit more sensible with our recruitment. Because obviously, so far Solskjaer's enjoyed 3 transfer windows at the football club. And he has spent £220 million on 5 players. Of course, Solskjaer didn't recommend anyone in his first transfer window, but in the 2 previous windows, he's recruited 5 players in. Of course, last summer recommended Daniel James, Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire. And of course, in January, he recommended Bruno Fernandes in and Odi Nagalo in. So I've got to say, he had a successful January transfer window, did Solskjaer, and he has been here now for around 16 months, so he has been at the football club over the year. Don't forget, Solskjaer still wants to continue the policy of recruiting young players to Manchester United. Young British talent, young British players, to Manchester United, like he did do last summer. And I think a lot of people are excited about his transfer strategy. But I'll reiterate what I've mentioned on my videos before. Solskjaer does deserve at least a couple of more transfer windows, and that, to see who else he can recommend into the football club. Don't forget, Ed Woodward is determined to back him. The Glazers are also determined to back him. Of course, Ed Woodward, don't forget, he's come out and I think he's done it on numerous occasions throughout the course of this season. Ed Woodward said that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job is safe at Manchester United. And like I said to on one of my videos, was it last week I outlined a couple of reasons what saved Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job at Manchester United, and that was the signing of Bruno Fernandes in January. Because definitely, Bruno Fernandes has made the difference in the team. Like I said, Bruno Fernandes has enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. Of course, Bruno Fernandes has, 3 goals and 4 assists so far. He won Premier League Player of the Month for February, reflecting on his good run of performances. And I did say to you, didn't I? He's the best player we have recruited in since the Alex Ferguson era. Definitely in that. And we paid £65 million for Bruno Fernandes with add-ons included. And obviously, I think that 6-0 win against Tranmere as well saved his job, because there was reports coming out before that game saying, that if we hadn't got out from that game against Tranmere, Solskjaer would have been sacked as Manchester United manager. So I've outlined a few reasons what have saved his job at the football club. Like I said, Solskjaer's approach to the big games this season have been very, very good, because we registered 17 points against the big 6 sides this season. Like I said to we've beaten Chelsea 3 times this season. So Solskjaer's beaten Frank Lampard 3 times as a manager. Also, we've beaten City 3 times this season. Solskjaer's become the first manager in history to beat Pep Guardiola 3 times in one season. Also beaten Tottenham, drew with Liverpool. So yeah, we've done very, very well against elite opposition and that. But we haven't been so good against lower opposition. But, before the football season that got suspended, we was in a good vein of form anyway. Because don't forget, we are unbeaten in our last 11 games in all competitions. I've also got to say, I could outline another reason and say this could have saved Solskjaer's job as well. With our reputation of promoting youth. Because Solskjaer has promoted the youth very, very well this season. The likes of Greenwood's been given his chances. Definitely the foreseeable future for Man United. I think Greenwood's on around 12 or 13 goals in all competitions this season. You've had Brandon Williams that's done really, really well. Now, I wouldn't put him as our first choice left back yet, because he's still inexperienced. So I'd keep Luke Shaw as our first choice left back. Tuan Zebe did well early on this season. I've got to say, Chong's done well in the games he's played in, but he should get more chances next season. James Garner should get more chances next season. Angel Gomez, we're hoping to get Angel Gomez a new contract at the football club, because there has been a lot of uncertainty over his future in that, definitely. But yeah, so definitely I think Solskjaer will be at Manchester United next season. But, obviously the expectations will be much higher next season. That's if we do, get the right players in the summer transfer market. But I expect us to challenge for the title next season. But the question is, do you think we can get our 21st title under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era? And our 14th Premier League title, because, we are the most successful team in England. We have won 20 titles. 13 of them Premier League titles. And overall, anyway, we are one of the biggest clubs in the world, but we haven't won the Premier League since 2013. So the last time we won it was in Alex Ferguson's last season. But yeah, so it's been a 7-year drought. We haven't won it for 7 years and that. But like I've said to we have been playing catch up. For the last 6 or 7 years. We have been playing catch up, like I said. In the last 6 or 7 years, of course, we've had different managers with different philosophies. Of course, a hell of a lot of money's been invested into the football club. We spent close to the £1 billion range in the last 6 or 7 years on players. So yeah, we have been playing catch up, and I think we've made quite a lot of mistakes in the last 6 or 7 years. It's not the only explanation, but I think it's one of the main explanations why we have been so inconsistent. I don't like the way the football club's been run in the last 6 or 7 years. You've had like Ade Woodward, that's received a lot of criticism, with his poor selection of managers. He's been criticised, of how poor our recruitment has been in the last 6 or 7 years or so. Obviously, we've got a lot of doubts about the club's ownership, the Glazers. They've been here since 2005. But, Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since the Alex Ferguson era. He's our 4th permanent manager. Like I said, we haven't dominated football, since we had Alex Ferguson. We haven't dominated football. And like I said, Ferguson endured, 26, 27 years at Manchester United, had 20 odd years of success. There again, Ferguson didn't win out in his first 4 years at the football club when we recommended him in from Aberdeen back in 1986. So let's just put that into the equation. And our boards and that, were discussing about sacking Alex Ferguson. But I think we won a total of 38 trophies under the Alex Ferguson era and that. And I can definitely say, Solskjaer won't replicate Ferguson's legacy, but I don't think any manager will. And no manager will last 26 or 27 years at a football club. So there you go, But I think, the only mistake Ferguson did make was ever recommending David Moyes. That's the only mistake he made. The main explanation why Ferguson recommended Moyes at the time is because they was both Scottish, and he just seemed to have had a lot of time for him. Moyes only endured around 8 or 9 months with the football club anyway. We knew he was never going to work out under David Moyes. And of course, Moyes did recruit 2 players in, and that was Fellaini and Juan Mata. Fellaini's no longer here, but Juan Mata is still at the football club. Of course, after, Moyes went, obviously, Van Gaal came in. He endured 2 years at the football club, did Van Gaal. And he won us the FA Cup, but again, his philosophy wasn't right for the football club. Obviously, Van Gaal, recommended, quite a lot of players in, but he also got rid of a lot of players as well, did Van Gaal. He got rid of a lot of the players that we had under the Alex Ferguson era. Of course, Van Gaal brought players like Daley Blinden, Memphis Depay, Falcao, Di Maria. He's on that list as one of our most expensive signings. He also brought Schneiderlin in, Sebastian Schweinsteiger, Rojo, Darmian. There's probably a few others as well, that Louis Van Gaal brought in. But yeah, and obviously, after Van Gaal, Jose Mourinho came in and he endured 2.5 years at the football club. Like I said, Mourinho did win 2 trophies in his first season at Manchester United, the Europa League and the League Cup. So we have only won 3 trophies, since Alex Ferguson's retirement back in 2013. But I already given you the main explanations, why it didn't work out under the Jose Mourinho era. Of course, Jose Mourinho, had bad disputes with the board, bad disputes with the top players and stuff like that. So that's why it didn't work out under Jose Mourinho. So yeah, Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since the Alex Ferguson era, but Mourinho recruited 11 players into the football club. He brought the likes of Eric Bailly in. It was Mourinho's first signing, paid £30 million in from Villarreal. He obviously, brought Lindelof in, did Mourinho. He brought Fred in, he brought Matic in, he brought Delo in, he brought Lee Grant in, he brought Sanchez in, Mkhitaryan, Ibrahimovic. Jose Mourinho, brought a hell of a lot of players into the football club. Maybe there's a few others I mentioned. Pogba, he's another one. Lukaku, we brought him in. So there you go. So put into the equation, Solskjaer, is inheriting the vast majority of Jose Mourinho's players in that. So I've already gone through with you, haven't I? I think the players Man United are going to get rid of. We're planning to get rid of around 5 players. Pogba, I don't know if we're getting rid of Paul Pogba yet. There's a lot of uncertainty over Paul Pogba's future. And now I was reading reports today, and it says, we have everything prepared to basically sell Paul Pogba to Real Madrid, and that. Swap deals have been on the agenda, like I mentioned last week. Was it earlier on this week? Saying that Juventus are willing to offer at least one of their players in a swap deal for Pogba. Rabiot, Ramsey, and I think Panjanic were mentioned. Also, PSG came out recently and said they're willing to offer Draxler and Angel Di Maria, in a swap deal for Paul Pogba and that. But there is a lot of uncertainty over his future. I think, if we sell Pogba, we could get around £70 million for him. So I don't think we'll recoup all the £8 to £9 million that we did pay for him. But I can't fully assure Pogba's going to go. I can almost assure, though, that Phil Jones will go. Lingard will go. Pereira will go, because Lingard and Pereira are 2 liabilities. Possibly Diego Dalot could go. Don't forget, recently, it says PSG have been in for him. We've said one around £30 million for Diego Dalot, or £35 million. We've said anywhere one in the £30 million range. Diego Dalot's only played once this season for Manchester United in the league because he's had quite a few injuries. He is our backup right back to Wan-Bissaka, is Diego Dalot. So yeah, I think Solskjaer did say he's open to selling the player. I think we'll negotiate and get rid of Chris Smalling on a permanent transfer. Rojo, I think we'll also negotiate on getting rid of him on a permanent transfer and that. So yeah, Solskjaer is planning he's already revealed his plan for his clear out. Sanchez, we've also got to try and get rid of him on a permanent transfer as well. But we're just finding that very, very difficult. I give you the news regarding Rashford today as well. He visited our Carrington training ground yesterday, and Marcus Rashford is close to regaining full fitness, so will be available when the football season does eventually resume, because Rashford has been out with a back injury. Pogba should be back as well. So there you go. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.